Which is the Hyundai that Indians can't have enough of? Well, the answer is fairly simple. It is the Creta. There are more than 12 lakh of them on the road, and you probably know how it's fun to drive, easy to own, aspirational. But what we don't know is how its electric cousin is, because there are not many on the road. But we've been among the few who have used it over 3 months and 6,000 kilometers. And I'm going to encapsulate in this video what it is like living with the Creta Electric. Welcome to Car and Bike. My name is Girish Karkera. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. And don't forget to hit the bell notification icon so that you don't miss out on any of our content. So the first obvious question is, what is the kind of range that I've been getting with this car over the last 3 months? To explain that, let me tell you that the Creta Electric comes with two battery pack options. You either get a 42 kilowatt hour battery or a 51.4 kilowatt hour battery. The smaller one gives you a range of around 420 kilometers, and the bigger one is claimed to give a range of around 510. Well, I will get to the point as to what I have been getting. But before I tell you the range, I should tell you that this battery on the Creta Electric has been fairly reliable. When I say fairly reliable, it means that the indicated range and what I consume while driving is more or less identical. So let me start by explaining my kind of usage so that you can compare it to yours. Now, I've been using the Creta Electric mostly for my daily home and office commute. That's around 50 kilometers per day in peak Mumbai traffic with an average speed of around 15 to 20 kilometers per hour. There is an occasional long distance drive to outside the city per week, which is around 80 to 90 kilometers, and that average speed is around 30 to 35 kilometers per hour. I've also been doing an occasional or maybe every fortnight intercity trip where I'm covering around 350 to 400 kilometers on this car. So the usage is approximately 250 kilometers per week, which has helped me clock this kind of mileage on this vehicle in the last 3 months. So that is substantial use of this car, mostly in city traffic, sometimes on the highway. So basis that kind of usage and those many kilometers, what I've arrived at a figure is around 370 to 380 kilometers per charge on the bigger battery version of the Creta Electric in mostly peak Mumbai traffic. The occasional highway runs has been giving 400 kilometers or sometimes slightly more than that, but roughly around that. But realistically, this Creta Electric with the bigger 51.4 kilowatt hour battery can give you a range of around 370 to 380 kilometers without any problem. Now the other main question is, how much time did I spend charging it? Well, unlike a lot of Mumbaikars, I don't have access to a home charger, but I was charging this car mostly at a DC fast charger. Now, the company claims at fast chargers, this car can be charged almost 100% in under an hour. For me, the DC charger is usually the average that we see around about in India, which is around 30 kilowatt. And in that, it used to take at least an hour and a half to 2 hours, which is still not bad because that is only for a full charge and not a top-up. A top-up is generally quicker. The occasional chances where I used to get a slow charger, it used to take around 6 to 7 hours depending on the flow, because mostly in slow chargers that you get around town or maybe in malls is around 7.5 kilowatt. That's not as fast as the home charger that Hyundai provides. So the best thing is that if you can get a home charger that you can fit in your office or at your home, that will be more convenient. It is better than a public slow charger because you never know whether it will be available and how much time you will have to spend. So the next question is, what about charging cost? Now, since I've been using DC chargers, for me the cost has been a little higher. At the 30 kilowatt charger, I'm paying around 1,000 to 1,100 rupees, sometimes slightly more. And that is expensive, and that sort of ruins the cost factor of using an electric car. But if you can find a public slow charger, the cost can be half. You have to remember though that you'll be spending considerably more amount of time. So the best solution to have an electric charger, and this I can say from experience, is you get one fitted, a standard charger that the company provides, at either your home or your office. That will save you a lot of time as well as cost. Now with the Creta Electric, the cost of a home charger fitment comes to around 70,000 rupees. Approximate figure, depends on also the trim that you choose and the battery size that you opt for. Now, one of the things that has been a constant with the Creta that came out more than 10 years ago is that it was always a fun car to drive. So obviously you expect the same sort of feedback, the same sort of enjoyment with the electric version. And we can tell you that this is really close to its ICE cousins. The car's electric motor makes around 103 bhp with the smaller battery version and around 169 bhp with the bigger battery. 0 to 100 can be dispatched in under 8 seconds and it's really smooth. Pickup is very akin to what you get when you drive either a petrol or a diesel Creta. Feedback from the steering is also very similar. It's not too heavy, it's not too light, and it gives you a fair bit of control despite the body roll. In fact, it is slightly better on this electric version because of the battery and the weight, which lowers the center of gravity of this SUV. Being a modified version of its ICE cousin, this layout and the overall look and feel is very similar to the regular Creta. But we are not complaining because they've covered most bases when it comes to features. There is a elaborate instrument cluster plus touchscreen fused into one unit. There is the panoramic sunroof in the top variant. There is seat ventilation. It also gets level 2 ADAS, which is pretty handy, especially on longer journeys. Most of the controls can be done through buttons on the steering wheel or on the center console. Some of them are touch, but they are much better than what you get in a lot of other modern electric cars. The car sits on 17-inch wheels. The suspension setup is fairly simple. Over the 3 months that I've been using this car, we've not had any incidents of the bottom scraping against a speed breaker, so the ground clearance is fairly acceptable. While overall the smartphone integration is quite good, they've given Type-C port in the front as well, but the Type-C port is only for charging and not for data. The bigger irritant is that you do not get wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay even in this top variant, which is the Excellence, which costs almost 25 lakhs ex-showroom. It definitely should have got it. As a daily driver, even when you take passengers along, those sitting at the rear find the place fairly comfortable. The seat is wide enough for 2 to sit very comfortably. 3 is a bit of a squeeze, but not as bad as many other cars. The AC is powerful. The music system, which is from Bose, is also pretty enjoyable. And overall, you feel like you're in a nice premium place every time you're sitting in the car. Driving it is, like I mentioned, quite enjoyable, and going through traffic or even cruising on the highways, you will find this a very comfortable place to be in. Driving it in traffic over long distances and even stuck in traffic for a long time, this doesn't get tiresome, and that is one of the hallmarks of a Creta, and which is why it is very enjoyable and preferred by a lot of Indians. The electric version also stays true to that. One of the things you will always enjoy in an electric car is its ability to overtake very easily, plus the instant acceleration that you get. And not to forget the quiet cabin. It feels like a premium car from the word go. Prices for the Creta Electric start somewhere around 18 lakh and it goes up to 25 lakhs. For the bigger battery, the price starts around 20 lakhs. Now, considering the battery size, the size of the vehicle, and the fact that it is not an all-electric platform, the prices seem to be a little on the higher side compared to most of its rivals, which are bigger and boast of all-electric platforms. Having said that, one thing about living with the Creta Electric is that it is the most reliable electric vehicle that we have ever driven so far. The biggest challenge is how well the battery management system works, and on the Hyundai, the battery is pretty well sorted in the sense that it gives you the exact kilometers that it shows. And that is a big relief when you are driving an electric car where the network is not as much as petrol or diesel vehicles. The car comes with a 3 years unlimited kilometers warranty. There is a 3-year warranty on the home charger if you're opting for that. Additionally, there is an 8-year 160,000 kilometer battery warranty that the manufacturer provides. Now, for most of us where the use of a car is very diverse and not very rigid, it is best if the electric car is not the only one in your garage. But in case of the Creta Electric, things change. The reliability, the fun to drive angle, and the fact that it is loaded with feature makes it a very well packaged electric vehicle. If you need only one car and it has to be electric, well, you can't find a better car than the Creta Electric right now. If you've liked this video, do share it with family and friends, especially those who are looking for an electric car. And if you have any questions on the Creta Electric, do leave it in the comments and we'll respond to it as soon as possible. And if you want more such ownership videos, keep following Car and Bike.